Well, you know what time it is, Dragon Folk. It's time to see what comes in every single pack of the Brothers' War. Dragon Folk, welcome on in. Hopefully, you guys are all having a fantastic day. I know I am. We are getting into the Brothers' War spoilers. Now, of course, I don't want to go over a ton of the stuff. We're going to go ahead and make a video eventually in the stuff that you're going to see, new cards that had been revealed, so on and so forth in future videos. Crazy stuff happened, right? Obviously, I'm going to leave the link to the actual live stream, so you can always go ahead and check that out. I'll leave that in the comment section, or I'm sorry, the description down below. And that's where you can go watch this announcement that talks about pretty much everything. But believe it or not, what it doesn't talk about is some things that are here in the Brothers' War boosters. So this is something that always comes out when right around spoiler season because people want to know what comes in what packs, what each pack contains, so on and so forth. So we're going to read through everything here, and we can kind of go over it step by step. So if you want to know what's going to be in these specific boosters, whether it be draft, set, collector booster, stick around. We're going to talk about it here for you. I'll leave this article also in the description too. So, the Brothers' War was a tale lost to myth and legend until now. On November 11th, you'll be able to head to your local game store or Amazon to find the real story yourself. Here's what you might find. The Brothers' War contains 101 commons, 80 uncommons, 63 rares, and 23 mythic rares. 3 of those rares and 3 of those mythic rares are double-faced meld cards. The Brothers' War also contains 10 basic lands and 10 full art mech basic lands. So altogether, roughly over right around 300 cards plus. The Brothers' War was fought in times of antiquity. Each pack contains another little piece of Magic's history. 63 artifacts from across Magic's past in the retro frame. Some are appearing for the first time in retro frame, and some have been here before, but they're ready to slot in your favorite deck. So there are, in fact, 63 of these retro artifacts, which means that as we get into the serialized cards that are going to come in here, do know that there are 63 artifacts, and if there's 500 of each, then you're looking at, what is that? So 500 times 63, you are looking at a total of 31,500 serialized cards in the Brothers' War. So that is that's a lot in regards to actually like cards, but in retrospect, it's probably not going to be too much because most of us probably aren't even going to be able to see all of them. So keep that in mind, I guess. There's 63 retro artifacts, 18 uncommons, 30 rares, and 15 mythic rares. Each set and draft booster contains a retro artifact. Collector boosters contain retro artifacts as well. You can read below for the full product details. Then they have these schematic artifacts. So Phyrexian Revoker looking to be one of those cards as well. They come in this original retro artifact or this schematic artifact. All 63 of the retro artifacts also have schematic form. The schematic artifacts feature new art showing early schematics of what the art would later become. The schematic artifacts appear exclusively in the retro frame. They are available in set, draft, and collector boosters, where both retro artifacts and schematic artifacts can appear in foil and non-foil. So again, you do have all of these available in every kind of pack, whether it be draft, set, or collector. Does not look like you get them in Jumpstart, so keep that in mind. Each set and draft booster contains either a retro or schematic artifact. It's an uncommon roughly 66% of the time, a rare roughly 27% of the time, and a mythic rare roughly 7% of the time. Regardless of the rarity of your artifact, it will be a schematic 1/6 of the time. That means that in a box of 36 cards, you're getting roughly 6 retro artifacts in a schematic backing, and then you'll get 30 of these retro artifacts. So you're guaranteed one in every pack. So do keep that in mind. In their wildcard slots, approximately 24% of the Brothers War set boosters contain an extra retro or schematic artifact as well. So if you are hunting for these things on a basis like that, I would definitely suggest maybe getting set boosters. Seems to be kind of the way to go. But of course, if you're just looking to get these are going to be super cheap on the market. Pick them up instead of having to hunt for them, So, of course, we're going to go ahead and go on down to serialized cards. This is something we talked about in a previous video, but for those of you who don't know, I'll go ahead and go over them here. We have also made schematic cards that are their own unique pieces of Magic's history. Each of the 63 schematic cards has 500 serialized versions. Each serialized version card is numbered from 1 and 500 and appears on a double rainbow version of our traditional foil, which means it's probably going to double curve, if you know what I'm saying. It'll actually, the card is supposed to look like this. It'll actually look like a rainbow when it's done being curled. You know what I mean? I really hope that's not the case, because these are going to be pretty well sought after, but considering the QA that we've seen, it might not be so fantastic. Serialized cards can only be found in collector boosters. Serialized cards are always in English, but can be opened in collector boosters of any language. They are mechanically identical to their non-serialized counterparts. There's also nothing about not using these in tournaments. You can use these in tournaments still. They are functionally the same card. I just suggest not doing that. This card going to be worth a decent amount of money. This card, without the stamp, is going to be worth significantly less. And then this card is going to be worth even less than that. So just keep that in mind. Now we're going to look at the Transformers. There are tons of course, remember, that's not something I thought I was ever going to say, is that we're looking at the Transformer cards for this set. But, well, this is like a separate thing. So in the Brothers War, there are essentially 3 separate sets. There's the retro artifacts, which have their own set symbol, right? It kind of looks like a fully completed gear. Then you have the actual Brothers War symbol, which looks like a gear, but it's like split in half, right? And then you have the Transformers, which is the 3rd set, and it is called Bot. So, and it looks like a Autobot Decepticon face split in half, essentially, as their set symbol. There are tons of giant robots fighting in the Brothers War, the perfect opportunity to bring other Transformer bots in from the universes beyond. These cards have their own set code, BOT. You can find 15 Transformers in the BOT set. They are all mythic rare, and they are all mechanically unique. BOT cards can be opened in set and collector boosters in both foil and non-foil. You can find a Transformers card in 10% of set boosters. Each bundle also contains a non-foil Transformers card, and each gift bundle contains a foil Transformers card. So your bundles will get you a Transformers card regardless. And then, of course, they are found 10% of the time in set boosters, which is a pretty good ratio if you're hoping to find these cards. There's also a separate universe that shatters everything you thought you knew about Transformers robots. A universe where heroic Decepticons battle evil Autobots. You can experience this topsy-turvy reality with the Transformers Shattered Glass cards. These are the alternate art cards, it looks like, the borderless full art ones. The Shattered Glass cards are mechanically identical to the regular Transformers cards, but feature new art and frames. The Transformers Shattered Glass cards are only found in the Brothers War collector boosters, so you can only get these special ones in the collector boosters. Roughly 12% of collector boosters contain one. Okay, so you're probably going to be seeing a lot of these. Woof. Okay. While non-foil Shattered Glass Transformers cards are printed in all languages collector boosters are available in, foil Shattered Glass Transformers cards are printed in English, and they appear in collector boosters of any language. So a non-foil Shattered Glass Transformers card can appear in any language, whereas if they are foil, they are only in English. Foil Shattered Glass Transformers are tough to open. You're about as likely to open a foil Shattered Glass Transformer as you were a neon ink heated Sugu of any color in Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. So I don't know how they did it, but they've essentially made 2 chase cards in the Brothers War, which is okay. Well, 2 chase cards now. You now have foil Shattered Glass Transformer cards as a chase, and you have serialized schematic artifacts as a chase. 2 chase cards in the matter of a set. It's insane. There are 14 Shattered Glass Transformers, not 15. RC does not have a Shattered Glass version. Next, we're going to go ahead and look at the Mech Basic Lands. We've done this before in a previous video, so I'm just going to kind of gloss over these. They look really cool. One of them's supposed to represent Urza, and the other one's supposed to represent Mishra. So, like, for instance, this one, right, this is more Mishra, this is more Urza, and you can kind of see what they look like. These are the full art basic lands for this set. So, they're cool. They got mechs in them. Really can't say anything bad about them. The Borderless cards. So we got these 2 cards spoiled for us earlier today, so I guess I can kind of go over them. But these are the Borderless cards that we're getting, and they look like they're schematic versions of their essential middle-aged selves. You have Mishra, Tamer of Makfawa, and Urza, Prince of Krug. These are 2 cards that are going to be in the Brothers' War. You can find borderless cards with alternate art in many Magic sets, and the Brothers' War is no exception. There are 6 borderless rares and 2 borderless mythic rares in the Brothers' War. Typically, every Planeswalker in a set has a borderless version, but Urza Planeswalker, Urza's melded form, does not. Instead, there are bordered versions of both Mishra, Tamer of Makfawa, and Urza, Prince of Krug. You can find these borderless cards in set, draft, and collector boosters in both traditional foil and non-foil. So, as per usual, borderless cards are going to be found in any set, or in any booster, I should say, as foil or non-foil. And you can find a non-foil borderless card in roughly 3% of the Brothers' War draft boosters and 4% of the Brothers' War set boosters. So, okay. Your odds of getting one non-foil in draft are lower, but in set, they're 1% higher. So, not really a huge difference. Extended art cards. So extended art cards normally are only found in collector boosters, so I'm assuming that's going to be the same, but we'll see. You can find 53 rares and 19 mythic rares with extended art in the Brothers' War collector boosters. You can also find extended art versions of the 5 rares from the Brothers' War Jumpstart boosters, the 16 rares and 4 mythic rares from the Brothers' War commander decks, and 5 other rares and 2 other mythic rares from the Brothers' War commander cards that appear in set boosters and in the Brothers' War collector boosters. That is a mouthful. That's a lot of cards that have extended art. All the extended art cards from the Brothers' War main set appear in traditional foil and non-foil. The extended art jumpstart cards and most of the commander cards appear only in non-foil. However, the 5 non-saga The Brothers' War commander cards from set boosters, plus the 2 mythic rares from set boosters, and the mythic rare legendary cards from the Brothers' War commander decks do appear in foil in collector boosters. Meld cards in the Brothers' War and cards that appear in borderless art do not appear in extended art. So the meld cards are pretty much the only thing that's not getting a secondary treatment, which is very interesting. Here's an example of some of the cards, right? You have Hercule, Master Wizard, Phyrexian Fleshgorger, and Mishra's Foundry. Set boosters. Every The Brothers' War set booster contains at least 1 rare or mythic rare, approximately 42% to have 2, 13% to have 3, 1% to have 4, and less than 1% to have 5. 1 retro artifact or retro schematic card from the retro artifact bonus sheet. 1 traditional foil card of any rarity, including borderless rares, Transformers cards, retros, yada yada. 2 wild cards of any rarity, including an opportunity to open the Brothers' War commander cards, jumpstart booster rares, Transformers cards, or retro artifacts and retro schematics. So commander cards are in set boosters. I don't know if they did that for DMU. I know they did that a little while for Innistrad stuff. Not sure if that was the case and continue to do that, but you can find some commander cards in set boosters. 3 connected uncommons, 3 connected commons. Connected? What does it mean by connected? That's weird. I don't know why they would have said that. One basic land or mech basic land that comes in foil or non-foil, an art card or a card from the list. We have not looked over the list yet for this set. I'm imagining it is going to probably be released as soon as the spoilers are all done, so hang tight for that. Draft boosters, of course, you're looking at probably the same thing as usual. Yep, 9 commons, 3 uncommons, a rare, mythic rare, or a retro artifact or schematic in uncommon, rare, or mythic. Schematic cards are in 16% of packs for your drafts. So you actually have a pretty good chance. Pretty good chance to find the schematic cards, which are pretty good. And then, of course, you have a token add card, a punch-out counter card, or a helper card. Collector boosters. Now, this is where it gets kind of crazy. So keep this in mind. There are 2 chase cards you can find in these collector boosters now. The foil shattered frame Transformers cards and the serialized schematic artifacts. So each collector booster contains 1 foil alternate frame rare or mythic rare that could be an extended art, commander extended art, borderless, retro artifact, or retro schematic card, or serialized retro schematic card in less than 1% of boosters. In less than 1% of boosters is the serialized retro schematic card. Less than 1% of boosters. That's insane. So it is going to be very difficult to pull this. I don't know whether or not the set's going to be good enough that people are going to be like, I need to buy all these, but I have a feeling these collector boosters are going to be cracked a lot. 2 non-foil retro or schematic artifacts. Each collector booster contains 1 retro artifact and 1 schematic artifact, one of which will be rare or mythic rare, so you're at least guaranteed schematic or retro artifacts. 1 additional foil uncommon retro or schematic artifact, so you could very well get an uncommon rare and a mythic schematic or retro artifact of every kind. A Transformers series card, which might be foil in 21% of boosters, or shattered glass in 12% of boosters, or both in less than 1% of boosters. So in less than 1% of boosters, you could get a serialized retro schematic card or a Transformers card that's in shattered frame and foil. This is, I mean, they really went up with the chase on this, but I don't know whether or not it's going to be enough to keep it going. 1 traditional foil rare or mythic rare, 1 non-foil borderless or extended rare or mythic rare, 1 non-foil extended art commander rare or mythic rare or jumpstart rare, 1 traditional foil mech land, 2 traditional foil uncommons, 2 traditional foil commons, and a traditional foil double-sided token. So looks like there's a lot of goodies in here, and luckily where you don't have to deal with the box topper issue that Dominar United had for its collector boosters. The only thing is that you're guaranteed a Transformers card in here. So you're at least going to get 12 Transformers cards. You could probably collect most of the set doing that. But Shattered Glass come in 12%. So even a non-foil Shattered Glass wouldn't be too bad there. So that's that, I guess. The Commander decks, this has been talked about previously, but they're essentially all in retro frame. Every card in the Commander decks are in retro frame. So the deck lists I don't believe have dropped yet, so we'll hear about those in the future. But we do know that everything is going to be in retro frame, and they do come with a collector booster sample pack like the other ones did. The bundles, of course, are going to contain 20 traditional foil basics, 20 non-foil basics, a traditional foil Queen Caleb and Krug promo card with unique alternate art, a non-foil Transformer series card, and 1 oversized The Brothers War spin-down die with an Urza or Mishra theme. So this is just a regular thing. The gift bundles will be coming out on December 2nd. So you complete with an additional collector booster with 8 set boosters, a foil Transformers series card, and a Transformers theme spin-down die. So you get so in the gift bundle, you get a collector booster in there. You get 8 set boosters, a foil Transformers card, and a Transformers themed spin down. So definitely a different thing with the gift bundle. It's going to cost a little bit more than this bundle is, but we'll see. We'll see whether or not it's worth it. The pre-release packs. So there should be no difference in this. You can choose between Urza's Iron Alliance and Mishra's Burnished Banner. I believe the developer said that there isn't anything new happening with this, but we're going to read over it just in case. Pre-release packs are available for pre-release events taking place 1 week before the launch of the Brothers War on November 11th. Get early access to 6 The Brothers War Draft Booster packs to build your first The Brothers War sealed deck to participating retailers. Just for this set, the pre-release packs have separate Urza and Mishra themed packaging so you can choose which brother to fight for. The packaging is the only thing that's different. You don't get an Urza card in here or a Mishra card in here as far as I can tell. So you get 6 draft boosters, a traditional foil, and stamped rare or mythic rare from the set. Pre-release pack with punch-out accessories and counter themes, kind of like DMU did, and a spin-down die. Now into Jumpstart. So Jumpstart, we have new stuff. I wonder what they've done for this one. The Brothers War will mark the second time that Jumpstart has released with a theme Magic set and standard legal cards. Jumpstart is the quickest and easiest way to play a limited game of Magic. Just open 2 Jumpstart boosters, shuffle them together, and play. The Brothers War Jumpstart comes in one of 10 themes, and when you put them together, anything can happen. Play a few games of Jumpstart, and you might find a Gravebound Gixins using Urza's Power Stones, or Mishra's Mighty Machines teaming up with Titania's Argothian defenses. Each color has a rare card designed for Jumpstart in 2 themes, each a variant of the same mechanic. White has Infantry, blue has Power Stones, black has Unearth, red has Welded, and green is Titanic. Those are the themes. They've got 2 versions of each of these themes, so it'll be like Crazy Titanic or Overpowered Titanic, right? Like 2 themes, essentially. Each of the Brothers War Jumpstart will come with 2 rare or mythic rare cards, a rare that's themed for the color and another rare from the main set that is randomly selected from a pool within the theme's color pie. We'll show you these cards in a dedicated Brothers War Jumpstart article soon, which will talk about the special cards that are supposed to be from there. But as you can tell, no card is exclusive to the Jumpstart boosters. There is no exclusivity here. So you can find these cards in set boosters and collector boosters as well. So you don't need to purchase this. You can purchase something else instead. And then they contain a theme card, right? Total 20 playable cards, 2 rare cards, 2 traditional foils, and 6 non-foil lands. And then there are welcome boosters, of course. You can visit the local WPN store to receive a welcome booster as we begin to explore Magic's history with the Brothers War and Magic's future in 2023. Now is a great time to introduce a friend to Magic the Gathering. So that is essentially it. We've now looked over everything that is to be in every single pack of the Brothers War. And I gotta say, the Transformers cards really did go from being really, really boring and really not necessary to essentially becoming more of a collector item than one would think. Those the foil shattered glass cards being as rare as the Neon Heated Sugus, and the addition of the serialized cards that are going to be in this set as well. It definitely is going to be an interesting time for collectors as far as Magic the Gathering goes. But let me know what you guys think. It looks like the collector booster boxes are actually turning out to be a pretty decent value. I think the only downside is, of course, you are guaranteed a Transformers card, so one of those slots is taken up by that. And then you also have the addition of the Jumpstart exclusives or some of the Commander cards, and then you have the uncommons and commons in there, and there's still going to be a lot to process, but I would say I don't know, it's hard to determine the value because essentially they want you to hunt for it, but everybody doesn't want to give Wizards any money right now. So is there ever going to be a hunt? Is this going to be a short printed product? Are we just going to have to hope that people are going to be selling Brothers War collector boxes from now until like the end of time, until they all sell out eventually? I'm not sure. But let me know in the comments down below what you guys are most excited for in the Brothers War, as far as any specific kind of pack opening. I know we do have a patron of ours that is going to be sponsoring a collector booster box opening for you guys. So I'll be able to open that for you once it gets shipped to my door. and hopefully we can pull some goodies for them. But if any of you would like access to something like that, you can always join our Patreon in the description down below. I will have that there. We do have several tiers you can join that don't have anything to do with buying boxes. If you just want to support the channel in a small way, it's always appreciative, but never necessary. And while you're down there writing that comment, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel as well if you have not already. I hope to keep you updated on as much spoilers as I can as far as the Brothers War goes. And I have to keep up with Magic 30 stuff that happens, so obviously, you know, take it as it is. But keep in touch, and remember to stay safe out there, all right, everybody? And I will see you all really soon. Nerd out.